Hello, I'm Scott Brady with Overland Journal and Expedition Portal, and I am here with the 2022 Toyota Tundra. Now, this is a very exciting new model because they've addressed a lot of the things that we wanted to see changed with the previous model, and they've done it in concert with using the same platform as the Toyota Land Cruiser. How cool is that? So the 300 series Land Cruiser and the Toyota Tundra have the same chassis. It's fully box frame. It gets a 3.5 liter V6 that makes 430 plus horsepower and 580 plus foot-pounds of torque. Now, this is only a hybrid drivetrain in the TRD Pro, which is why you get those impressive numbers. Now, all of that torque is also made at only 2,400 RPMs, which in and of itself is an incredible feat and very similar to what we would see from a diesel drivetrain. Now, the other things that we really like to see with this new vehicle is the availability of a manually selectable rear locking differential. So let's take a look at the details on this new 2022 Toyota Tundra. Let's talk about this front quarter here. We've got like a digi camo almost over fender. And then we've got Falcon tires. They look like about 32 and a half inch diameter. And we have a BBS forged wheel in the TRD Pro line. They actually look great. One of the more important things to note, this is an 18-inch wheel, but there is easily enough room behind that caliper to fit a 17. So a 17-inch wheel will be a nice and important upgrade for the aftermarket. All right, this is important. When we look at the front suspension here and we look at the wheel opening, and I've done some sweeps with the wheel as well, we're looking at easily a 35-inch tall tire fitting into this space without any significant modification. If you were to change out that front bumper, I think you could even fit a 37 with some clearancing right there at that body mount towards the rear. And up front we have the Falcon Wild Peak tire. We have a non-adjustable Fox coilover front suspension. We've got a heavy anti-sway bar here, a unique location for that as well. It does stick down a little bit, so it may be an impact consideration on the trail. Heavy duty aluminum front skid plate as well. This front differential is not shared with the Land Cruiser, so the lockers available for the Land Cruiser will most likely not fit on this vehicle. Let's take a look here at the front lighting package. This is actually quite notable. You can see these quad projectors here should have excellent night lighting as well. And then we have the TRD Pro front grille. This is again a prototype, so not the exact textures you would expect, but we've got LEDs along the top here, and then we have a full length LED bar integrated into the grille, front facing camera. And we've also got some additional lighting here on the bumper fascia. This front bumper configuration should work very well with aftermarket bumper fitment. You could either do a cut along this style line here, or you could remove the whole front bumper fascia. I've also got on pretty good authority that we should see an ARB front bumper for this vehicle very soon after release. So we're going to see full aftermarket support of the new Tundra. All right, when we're looking through the front grille here, we can see these massive intercoolers on both sides, which are actually tucked back fairly well, so it should accept a high clearance front bumper no problem. Also lots of room behind the grille here for a hidden winch mount that would easily be accepted. The one thing that is very important to note though with the TRD Pro is we have no front tow hooks, and that is based upon the aero requirements of the vehicle. Apparently it's going to be addressed by Toyota with a dealer installed item, and certainly the aftermarket will do the same, but just important to note we're missing those classic red TRD Pro tow points. One thing you'll also notice underneath the engine bay is a complete lack of a traditional battery. It has certainly been taken place by this hybrid vehicle motor control unit here, massive motor control unit that is at the firewall, but no batteries under the hood because they're all under the rear seat. And they also chose to go with nickel metal hydride batteries as opposed to lithium ion because the packaging requirements and the weight requirements are not so much of a consideration in a full-size truck. So they had plenty of space. Combine that with the lower cost of nickel metal hydride and the better availability of that battery system, it actually makes for a totally suitable fit for this vehicle. So one of the things we're always interested in at Expedition Portal and Overland Journal is payload, and this TRD Pro, says it right here on the door, 1,455 pounds of payload. Of course, we consider 1,500 pounds to be the minimum standard for a vehicle like this, but it's very, very close. So that does give you two full-size adults with their personal effects, plus about another 1,000 to 1,100 pounds for a camper and other accessories to the vehicle, modifications, winch bumper, etc. So you can run out of payload pretty quickly, but 1,455 pounds is getting closer. The rear wheel well is also massive, easily accepting a 37-inch tire, no problem there. So we have a pretty clever feature on the TRD Pro and most of the higher level models. So we have a bump switch right here at the tailgate that drops the tailgate easily. So you could hit that with an elbow if you got your hands full. Pretty clever feature. Also some pretty good in-bed lighting as well. And this entire bed is similar to the composite construction of the Tacoma, so it should do very well at resisting dents. Also much lighter weight overall, which helps with the vehicle payload. The rear of this Tundra is also big news. So we are looking at a 5-link, multi-link rear suspension system. So on the TRD Pro, you're gonna get Fox shocks, and you're also gonna get a dual rate rear coil. This is also a heavy-duty version of the rear axle, similar to that of the Land Cruiser, and also integrating a Toyota e-locker. Now the TRD Pro will not be available with the air suspension, which some may see as an advantage or a disadvantage depending upon your needs, but the size and packaging of the Fox rear shocks do not permit the use of the airbags on this particular vehicle. So a couple things that I do like about the interior, really good use of leather at touch points. You got air-conditioned seats, heated steering wheel, really robust shifter. I like the fact that it is a traditional shifter in the center console. We also have quick access to all of the four-wheel drive modes and controls. Obviously the red interior is going to be a very personal choice. To me, it's a little bit loud for my taste, but again, the material used throughout is very high quality. I also noticed that at the top behind the main screen, there is a 12-volt outlet, so you can charge other devices. And then the other thing that I like is this kind of hybrid center console. So it has two really comfortable armrests, and then it has a center storage component. In addition to the TRD Pro model, which of course will be the most popular for our audience, they do have some other interesting models like this 1794 edition, which is the year of the very first ranch that was created here in Texas, where this vehicle is built. And that concludes our overview of the 2022 Toyota Tundra, which is an exciting new model for the overland market. Stay tuned in the next couple weeks when we finally get a chance to drive the vehicle in the field and share it with you then. Take a look at expeditionportal.com for our complete article on this vehicle as well, and we will talk to you next time.